Hello, hello, and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. I'm so grateful to be here with you. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, we will be doing tapping EFT together. So if that's what you're here for, you found the right spot. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you may be stressed out, have overwhelm, trauma, you might want to hang out anyway, because this is a really great scientifically proven method to help with all of that. I'll give you a quick rundown on how this next hour is going to go. I will say a quick hello, we'll do a little grounding, and then we'll get right into the tapping. So this session will be a little bit different than if we were face to face, because if you were in front of me, there would be a lot of back and forth. I would be reading your body cues, but that's not possible here. So the way that we compensate for that is I go very, very vague, very obtuse with the suggestions that I get from you. And I try to be as inclusive as possible, but also I want you to feel empowered to adjust it to what fits best for you. So if I say something like everything's wrong and you say my financial situation is upsetting, great. I want you to know you have my complete permission and encouragement to adjust any phrasing or words that I use to fit better for what you are experiencing. And if I happen to choose a tap that doesn't quite fit you at all, I will give you some suggestions on how you could still tap along and maybe get some benefit from it anyway. I do take suggestions from the live chat that we have going through the entire session. I do my very best to incorporate everyone. But in case I don't get to it, I will pre-apologize. I'm sorry. But you will still see benefit from tapping even if if you have something uber specific isn't addressed, your body will still receive positive neurological relief. So at least there's that. If you have something that you would like to suggest, you could put it in the chat at any time. I do check it throughout the entire session. If it's something that's just too personal for you to say in front of the whole world, my email is at the top of the chat. You can always send it to me and we can chat together. And then I can bring it up anonymously the next week so that you can see what it looks like to tap on it without having to feel overly vulnerable. I don't want to put you in that situation. So there's a way that you can have it and still feel safe to share. My email, I will say it out loud as well. It is Fable, FABLE, at EFTuniverse.com. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, in tapping and EFT, when we initially teach it, we teach how we start here on the hand and then we go through all of the different acupoints that we use in tapping and we just go through that cycle, right? I tend to stay in one spot. I'll either stay here on the hand or sometimes I'll go here on the collarbone. There are two reasons why I do that. One, I want to be as boring as possible. You are here to experience your own body. All of the healing happens right here in yourself. I am here to guide you. I'm here to support you, but I can't do this for you. And I want you to feel empowered to, if you have a headache, you don't have to tap on your face. If it feels really good to stay here the entire time, I want you to stay there the entire time. I want you to find your own flow with all of the acupoints. And I don't want you to worry about, oh no, am I following at the speed that Fable is going? Not what we're doing. The other reason that I do it is because one spot is enough. This tapping is giving a signal to the brain, which is what we need to create the outcome that EFT does. Now, each acupoint does have their own benefits, and certainly tapping all through them, there's a reason that that exists. But one is enough for a session to be effective. So that's why I do that. Oh, and I forgot to say, if it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. Sorry, I forgot that. But I do think that is my entire laundry list of saying all of the information that you need to feel comfortable with how the session is going to go. If you do have questions, please let me know. If it's a longer answer, I will have you email me so that I can honor what you're asking and the time that we have here to tap as well. All right, I'm going to say hi in the chat real fast, and then we will ground for just a minute or two, and then we'll get right to it. Let's see. Hello, Nancy. Yes, let's tap. Hello, Zarina. Oh, love back to you. Hi, Peg. Hi, Mary. Hi, Donette. I'm happy you're here too. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Cherry. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, Joe. Oh, and Joe has a suggestion of angry at my mom because she can't take care of herself. I know that is bad, but I can't help it because I have to take care of her now and have to put her into a nursing home now. Not fair all the way around. I hear you, Joe. And I would say that it's I would guess that this is a long history, and that maybe you were in a situation of doing this, maybe even as young as in your childhood, and so there's a lot back there. Um, and there are ways for you to be able to not carry that, even if it is still your current situation to have to deal with it. So I really appreciate your suggestion. It's very valid, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Hello, Joyce. Glad that you're here. Hi, Julia. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, I am very anxious about my husband's illness. At this point, I am constantly anxious. I have panic every time he goes for blood tests. Okay, so I hear you, Julia. It's kind of similar but different, right? Where there's overwhelm, there's these big feelings, and it's a constant loop that you don't really have control over all the factors. It's not something you can just step away from. So I appreciate that that's actually something that we could address in a single tap, both of those angles. And Donette sending love. Hi, Marion. So glad that you're here. And Zarina suggesting feelings of unfairness for things we can't control or other people's issues. Yeah, yep, spot on. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get grounded. I do not have any community emails today, so it will just be all of us here together where we get our suggestions for our tap today. But first, let's just go ahead and acknowledge that we have a body. So just notice that you have a body, and notice just very surface level, generally how your body is doing. Notice if maybe your back hurts from how you're sitting, and maybe, stretch it if you feel like that would feel good. Or maybe your arms are feeling stiff. Maybe they've been still for a long time, and stretching it out a little bit would feel good. Or if you've been sitting for a while, maybe flexing your legs out, maybe bouncing your toes, on the ground. Maybe you've been too busy and your body's saying, will you please just sit still? And that's what it's asking for. Just notice something easy that you can give to your body right now. And while you're thinking about what that is and complying, let's take a breath. Okay. And now let's take a hand, both hands, doesn't matter which hand, one hand or the other or both, and just place it on a place in your body when you're considering your emotions. And it can be the heart, that's a really common one. The neck can be a common one, the forehead, the abdomen, whatever feels right for you. You don't have to do the space that I'm choosing. And as you do this, draw your attention to just the inside of your body. It's still kind of surface level. We're not going deep into anything. Or paying attention to, okay, well, what's a deeper ask? Just slightly deeper, maybe an emotional ask of just an acknowledgement of, wow, I feel really bothered right now, or I'm really sleepy, I'm tired, or I'm feeling really anxious and overwhelmed. I just feel this busy energy. Okay, and we're just noticing. Okay, and we're allowing that to be okay, right? We're just curious about ourselves. Let's take another breath. Okay, and now let's put those two things together, where we're noticing and acknowledging what we're feeling inside of our bodies. And at the same time, we're acknowledging and noticing that we have an outside of our body, that there's boundaries in the shape of toes and knees and hips and back, shoulders, fingers. And we're noticing just how things are feeling in general, where things might feel stuck, where things feel fine, where things don't feel at all, maybe. Take just a moment just kind of assess how your body is right now. Now let's take another breath and let it out. Okay, now you may or may not feel uh, rested, but hopefully you feel more aware. And it's okay if that's what grounding feels like to you. I think it's expected, or it's become to be an expectation that grounding equals a peaceful feeling. And that's great when that happens. And a lot of times it does. But sometimes grounding is just being as present as possible in the moment, even if the moment isn't the most comfortable. We're not forcing anything. It's just a way of going, oh, hey there, self, in this moment right now. Okay. And then we'll continue from that space. Alrighty. Um, okay. Just checking the chat real fast. The stretch felt good. Oh, good. Yay, Peg. All right. So let's go ahead and start with. Trying to think of exactly how I want to phrase this because I want to find the root as deep as I can for you on having uh, big feelings, having feelings that have history, situations that are out of your control, situations that are overwhelming to encounter. Um, ooh, let's do, I don't feel like I have a choice. Okay. And you can take that phrase in whatever way it fits for you. I don't feel like I have a choice in my job. I don't feel like I have a choice in this medical situation. I don't feel like I have a choice in the way my body responds, because it is a big thing and it is going to happen. And this is the way that that is. And I feel just kind of hopelessly pulled along by what's happening. It could be something completely different. Like I don't feel like I have a choice in getting older, um, which is true. But there are also ways that we can shift those perspectives, and that's what we're going to root out. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping as you get clarity on what it is that you want to tap on. I don't feel like I have a choice. All right, let's go with some phrase work. Even though right now, as I consider what's happening, and I acknowledge how I feel as I express that I do not have a choice. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway, even though right now, as I consider my situation and I feel the truth that I don't have a choice in this. And I have a lot of feelings about that. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway, even though right now I'm focusing on these hard truths of my situation and feeling that I don't have any control over it. I don't have any answers for that yet. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. This situation, my situation, my choices. No choices. I don't get a choice. No choice in this situation. No choice. No choice. This situation. No choice. No choice. As I consider my feelings surrounding this current truth, I fully embrace and accept them. I may not want them, but I understand why they're there. Of course, I'm overwhelmed. Of course, I am. Of course, this is hard. Of course, I don't like it. Every feeling that I have is so valid. And every feeling that I have makes a lot of sense to be my current outcome because I don't want this. And I do wish I could choose. And maybe I would even do anything if I thought that opportunity existed. But I don't even get a chance because I just don't get to choose. And I don't have to think more positively about it. And I don't have to make myself feel hopeful. I give myself permission to feel my feelings. I can be mad about this. I can express that my heart is broken. I give myself permission to let out all of it, all of the raw, all of the things I keep quiet because I'm afraid that it's going to make something bad happen, because I'm afraid someone's going to judge me for it, because I'm afraid it's going to mess something up. If only I had that kind of power. But if I can't positive my way out of it, then maybe I can't negative myself deeper into it. And what if this isn't negative? These are valid responses to a really overwhelming situation. Of course, I have feelings about it. And maybe I was taught somewhere earlier in my life that I wasn't allowed to have feelings for whatever reason. And I wonder if all I have choice over are my feelings. And my body, my mind, my heart are begging to be heard. maybe I should give it a try to let them speak. Maybe I can choose. I can choose for it to be safe to release because this situation is hard and I'm not done yet. And I have to continue. And maybe having to continue is me choosing to continue, but it's who I am and it's the choice that I'm making. So I wonder if this overwhelming situation exists and I am seeing it through. And I do not get a full say, maybe a partial say, maybe any say in the outcome. Then why am I completely focused on the outcome? If I have no power there, why is that what I'm fighting against? As I consider where in my timeline that I am engaging for this situation, I deeply and completely accept myself. Of course, I have a specific outcome I would like that makes sense, and that's okay. Of course, of course, I have an outcome that I want. But if I don't have any choices in it or a limited amount of influence for it, I wonder, is it possible that I could focus elsewhere and have more impact? Yes. No. I don't know. As I allow myself to consider if it's possible that I could have more impact in a different perspective, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, okay, well, what am I talking about? Am I talking about the present moment? Am I talking about being present? Because that's cliche. And maybe I don't even know what that means. Even if, as I consider what my other options might be, I feel some resistance to actually considering it, I still choose to be as open minded as possible. I wonder, when I've considered the present moment before, has it truly been about the present moment? Or has it still been to try and manipulate the outcome? And manipulate in a good way, adjust, change the outcome. But was it really just about the moment? Or Was I trying to use a place of power and scoot it on over to the place where I don't feel like I have any power? Hmm. As I consider this question, I allow myself to continue to be curious. And I wonder, all right, well, if, if in this moment I do have some sort of choice, let's say, what could I even choose that would make any difference? Maybe I could choose a boundary. I could choose a boundary of moment by moment. That future moment does not have to exist here. Maybe I'm about to go and have to engage in something really hard, but that's not this moment. And damn it, I'm going to keep this moment. I'm going to keep this moment for myself, and I'm going to take a breath, or I'm going to rub my shoulder. I'm going to be soft, and I'm going to let myself cry. I'm going to let myself release, because I don't have to be strong in this moment. That one maybe. This one is mine. Okay? What else? Maybe the inevitable outcome is scary, hard. Maybe it's going to be really sad. But what if this moment isn't? What if it's not yet? What if we could rebel against that outcome? What if I could laugh? What if I could create such a space that I could rebel against everything that's barreling down at me? And I can carve out a place where I get to feel something that I choose to feel rather than what is a part of the process of what I'm going through. And maybe doing these things makes a difference in a way I can't possibly know yet. Maybe this changes everything. And maybe it doesn't change the outcome, but maybe it does change this moment. And I wonder if I can come up with things that I would like to have in this moment, but it doesn't change the outcome. Is it worth it? Yes. No. I don't know. Whether or not right now I can confidently say if it's worth it. I wonder, how could I find out? Maybe I allow myself a test. Maybe I try it out. And if it doesn't work for me, fine. Then I drop it and I move on. But what if it does? What if I discover that every time I go to the bathroom, I let myself just dive into a fantasy that allows me to daydream my nervous system into a safe, happy place for 3 minutes? That helps me sleep better at night, or it helps me hold on to some mental acuity or some physical strength that I needed to get through the rest of the day. What if, as I consider how I could give this a try, I deeply and completely accept myself? And as I give myself permission to approach it, I give myself permission to forget completely about what were the steps. What was I doing? I give myself permission to try and be really, really bad at it. I give myself permission to try and immediately quit. Just quit immediately. I give myself permission to try again. Because the truth is, by default, things are happening. And I naturally and understandably have feelings about that happening. And if this curiosity allows me any sort of support or relief, then I agree to hold a space for myself to figure that out. This situation, my choices, this situation in my life, my choices. And as I allow myself to engage this curiosity, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause tapping and take a deep breath. Now take just a moment and think about when we started that tap, how it felt when you said this situation and that I have no choice, and how you feel now when you think about this situation and having no choice. Does it still feel true? Does it feel as heavy as it did? Or do you feel lighter? Do you feel like, no, there's some possibilities out there? Do you feel more space in your body? Do you feel more calm? Did you experience any sort of yawning, stretching, crying, sighing, getting ideas, feeling inspired? All of those are signs that the words that you spoke while you were tapping reached your subconscious brain and it said, ooh, yes, I like where we're going with this. Let's build on that. And it's going to continue to structure that even though you're no longer tapping on it. So good job. All righty, let's see what we're going to next. Hi, Blast Scout. Let's see, I didn't scoot all the way up. Oh, good, Serena. I'm glad that you also like the stretching. Guilt around feelings. Let me know if that also helped with that, because we can definitely do another tap on feelings about our feelings or judgments about our feelings, because that compounds very quickly. Huge one, good one, yay. Don't feel I have a choice with food now that there's no support for those in poverty. Um, I'm curious about what you mean by that, trust universe. I have a choice in food. Well, first of all, let me know if that tap helped, if that helped resolve that. Otherwise, I am curious to know if you could give me any more details so that I could have a better angle in which to approach it. Um, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Black Scout. I'm so glad that you joined us. Why am I not going through the points? It is something that I explain at the beginning of the tap, essentially because I want you to go through it at your own pace and your own timing. So I'm here. If you get lost, you can open your eyes and follow along with me, but I want you to go according to your own, what your own body is telling you. Hopefully everything collapsing was a positive experience. It's always a deeply pleased, even if that's the only. Yes, Serena. Oh, yay! Feeling much lighter. Feel safe to feel good. Yay! Expect a good outcome. Okay, and Marcy saying stress in relationships. You're welcome, trust universe. Oh, and happy birthday last Sunday, Serena. Birthday is in 2 days. I don't feel valuable to receive a miracle because I have no money. Gotcha. Caring for children. Okay. You're so welcome. Alrighty. Marcy, when you say stress and relationships, are you do you feel safe to be a little bit more specific in that, so that I can have a better idea of how to approach that as well? Oh, help. Do you want to change that as success? I need something about loving is hard. Ooh, I like that suggestion, Joe. Thank you. Lots of Scorpios, yeah. um, yeah, how engaging is hard. Choosing in is hard. Absolutely. Um, hmm. That might tie into what Marcy was mentioning as well, because I mean, stress in relationships is usually tied to that, right? About caring, about trying to support, wanting to be able to do more than you feel like is possible, which also might tie into what you're saying as well. Trust universe. Um, because I felt I couldn't get healthy food, and now the tap I feel better. Oh, good, 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 good. Okay. Um, let's do a tap on kind of more being empathic, caring for others to the point of it induces pain and heaviness and sometimes panic, or to where you feel overwhelmed to the point of now I'm no good to anybody because there's too much to do and I can't do it all. And I don't know what to pick because it's not right for someone to get left out. Because how was that left on me? And I would rather die trying to fix it for everyone else than worry about my well-being, because how dare I when someone else out there is in such a worse situation than I am, right? It's really hard. It's really hard for empaths to feel like we have any right to be in a good space when it's something that if we shared our space and kind of like leveled out the field, right? Where if someone's down here and we're up here, we could just kind of toss a little bit their way, and it should be everyone should feel safe. Everyone should be taken care of, right? And that's valid. So then, how do we not feel that way? It's a tough one. So yeah, let's tap on that. Okay, and I'm going to tap on the collarbones for it. I like tapping near my heart when it's something that's something I feel like deeply hits my heart. So, hmm. Trying to think of exactly how to wrap it up into a single phrase. Let's go with I am powerless to make everything right. So nothing is right for me. Not nothing. I'm powerless to make everything right. So anything good feels wrong. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. As I consider everything, all of the things, all of the pain that's happening right now, that doesn't have to be. It's a choice. And I consider how wrong that choice is. I don't see how I could be a good person if I choose good for myself when I know others are hurting. Even though when things are wrong, it feels wrong for anything to be right with me. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now I am consumed by the pain that exists and it feels wrong to have any joy when that exists. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now I feel very conflicted about receiving anything good when so many bad things are happening to others. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Okay, we're going to go on a rant, so just trust me on this. No, I don't. I don't accept that. I don't accept myself anyway. That's not true. I don't accept any of this. It's horrible. It's disgusting. And I hate that I share a race with people who do this, that they can be called a human the same way that I'm called a human. It's not okay. And it won't be okay. It will never be okay. Even if everything changed tomorrow, what has already happened is so horrifying. How could I ever look anyone who's been through such horrible things in the eye and say to them, but don't worry, I'm happy? Isn't that the same as what all these horrific humans are doing? That's what they're saying. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, but don't worry, I'm happy. You're affected, but I'm happy. You went through that, but I didn't. So my feelings are okay. My future is okay. I will not be the same as them. I will not. As I resolutely state, I will not be the same as the other people who are causing this hurt. Now I deeply and completely accept myself. But I wonder, how? How do I make any of it right? I I can see so many sides of it, and none of them make it okay. I could argue that me suffering doesn't help anybody. I could argue that uh, the problem didn't start with me, so I can't fix the whole problem, but I can do what I can do. I could argue that, well, I'm a person too, and it's okay for me to be cared for. But none of it's right. None of it makes it right. So doesn't that mean all of it's wrong? As I consider what determines the right and wrong of what's happening, I deeply and completely accept myself. But there are people who are so much braver than me. They're speaking up, they're speaking out, they're doing incredible things, and I'm not. There are people who are so much smarter than me, and they're engaging things. They're they're introducing laws and rallying people. There are people who are more powerful than me. The careers that they're in, the space that they hold. There are people who are like me, and they just engage in this really big way. It's quite heroic, actually. Shouldn't I do that too? Shouldn't I be more powerful? Shouldn't I be more brave? Shouldn't I be more giving? Shouldn't I find an act of heroism? Maybe that. Maybe that would make it hurt less. Maybe then I wouldn't feel so much pain in my body when I think about those who are hurting so bad. As I consider that if I were enough in these ways, things would feel better and be better. I wonder, is that true though? These people who are in powerful places, who are braver, who are heroic, when I see them, do they look like they're experiencing less pain about this than I am? Yes. No. I don't know. Obviously they're feeling pain, but maybe they're feeling better about their contribution. Or maybe the reason all of this hurts, maybe the reason it's so hard is because I care. And there's no amount of giving that's going to change that's vulnerable, and that is affecting all through my body. And sometimes connecting and caring and sharing in this way is magical. And it's the best thing in the world. And sometimes connecting and sharing is the deepest hurts that I ever feel. As I consider how I feel as I connect to the world around me, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I wonder, does one equal the other? Does the way that I feel, does that prove or disprove how good of a person I am? Does it prove or disprove how much I want to help or how much I can help? Does it prove or disprove if I'm enough? Yes. No. I don't know. I feel confused by this question. What could it possibly mean? Maybe. Maybe it means that I've learned to identify myself as my ability to connect and serve and fill a space. And that's meaningful for me. And I enjoy that. But what does it mean about me if there's a space that I can't fill on my own? Does it mean I have failed? Does it mean I'm not enough? I wonder, what if, what it means is that instead of focusing on the whole being too big for just me, what if it means I am meant to find others and just connect? And maybe in that connection, no one person is big enough. But what if this space, this place that I connect makes me bigger, because now it's not just me, it's me and then we connect to more and more people. And I still don't know. I still don't know what outcome we can reach. But what if I allowed the way that I care and the pain that I feel to exist, not as a judgment, but as a pathway? What if I asked it questions? And what if I did give honest answers for what I truly can connect with and give to? Because isn't it true that not every empath has to have the answer? What if we all just supported others who do have answers right now? Because isn't it true that they're powerful because they inspire others? And they're strong because others back them and believe in them. And what if me being there makes a difference for that? Me being my connection, my care, my pain, my strength, my support. Okay, but what about what I originally asked? How is it okay for me to be okay if there are people who aren't? That is a hard question. And maybe as I begin to build this new pathway, I can find my answer. Because maybe applying that pressure and that judgment, that harshness, that panic, maybe that's not the way to truly find an empowering answer to what I want. And what I want is for everything to be right. And maybe making myself wrong isn't it. Making things right, being a part of making things right, allowing conversations, conversations with all of my feelings. And as I explore this potentially new space and reach for this understanding of my own worth and my own engagement, I allow myself to feel good as I learn. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and pause tapping and take a deep breath. Feel for just a moment how you feel now. And I don't expect it to feel resolved because that's big. It's really big. And tapping on something like that can be hard to feel a full resolution on um, because our sense of justice is very offended right now. And as that continues to happen, of course, engagement is something that we desire. Where tapping can help with that is by allowing you to simplify what you're asking and what you're looking for, and allowing everything to speak so that the parts of you that just needed a moment to speak can be quiet and allow you to have clarity on, okay, so what does this actually mean for me? Where do my abilities lie? And it's okay to really be honest with yourself about that, even if what you want to be is the hero. Um, but that's just not where you are right now. It's okay to feel disappointed or like let down or other feelings. Um, Tapping through those will help you discover what you can do because you're letting go of what you can't do. And that's just as important, especially in a scenario like this. So, all right, I know we're a few minutes over time. I want to look at the comments real fast and then we'll say goodbye. Oh, good, good, good. Yay. Mm. Oh, thank you, Serena. Sorry about that, Trisha. I know that's always so disappointing. I'm glad that you're here. And yeah, all of my love to you as you watch the replay. Oh, good, good, good. I'm so glad that that helped. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I love you so much, and I really cherish this time that we spend together. And I hope that you're feeling better, and I hope that you're feeling seen and heard and supported. This community exists because you are cared for and you are loved. And I hope that that feeling continues with you throughout today and throughout the week. I hope I get to see you next Tuesday, but if not, there will always be a replay posted. And I'll post a video this Friday. Always feel free to email me with any questions. I'm here for you. So, mwah, take care, and I'll see you next week.